Welcome to Ace the Sales podcast. You are listening to part 8 of the Conversation Catalyst series, where in 9 consecutive episodes, we are deconstructing 9 elements of an impactful sales conversation. These conversation strategies will help you convert your prospect into paying clients, not with sleaze, but with ease. So, let's dive in. Fall in love with selling as you acquire the right mindset, selling style, and sales process that helps you take your business solution to more prospects, potential clients, and the world at large. If you are a women entrepreneur who is looking to get more sales, scale, and sustainability in your business, you have reached the right place. I'm Roshni Baronia, your host for the show Ace the Sales, which is all about helping you bring your authentic and influential self to each sales conversation. Okay, so we have reached the second last episode of the Conversation Catalyst series, and I have to confess that it has been such a roller coaster ride for me, and in fact a fun ride for me, because when this idea came to me as to I should create a series where I can share how you can have impactful sales conversation, I just couldn't put a leash on this idea. And I guess it's a problem with entrepreneurs in general that ideas keep popping up and it is so difficult for us to keep focus on the things that are in hand. And there were a few couple of things that I was doing in my business. There were a few offers that I was working on, and also there were a few guest interviews already lined up for the podcast. But this Conversation Catalyst series idea was something which I knew had to precede every other thing that is going out on the podcast for me. So that's why I just pushed everything else back and put this in forefront, because I know this is going to help you so much in the way you sell in your business, the way you are having those one-to-one conversations with your prospects, because each and every of the technique and the strategy that I'm sharing here has been tried and tested by myself in my sales career. So that is one thing that I can tell you hands down, that if you try implementing each of these techniques, be it the storytelling, be it the visualization, be it asking of questions, all of these are so impactful and powerful techniques that you need to learn them and practice them, and that's when you will start mastering them as well. So without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Today I'm going to talk about one of the things which the traditional salespeople love to talk about a lot, and that is objection handling. So it is one thing which they are trying to communicate first up, is that you will definitely get objection in your sales conversation, and that's why they are teaching you to handle it, right? So how do you prepare to handle these objections in the first place? So the first of the things you need to do is to make sure that you do not have them, or at least minimize them as much as possible in the initial stages of your sales process. So when you are prospecting your clients, when you are qualifying them, and even before you get on a call with them, there are things that you need to do in order to avoid having some very common objections that you are having in your business. So that's the first thing that you can do. Secondly, you need to be mentally prepared for having those objections, because if you don't prepare, or if you are taken by surprise by any of the objections that the client or the prospect is posing to you, then you will not have a proper response. So prepare for the objections. And how do you prepare for those objections? You will list down 4 to 5 or even 10 of the common objections that you get for a business like yours, and prepare a objection handling template. So this is like a list or a template kind of a thing that you will be preparing for your business. Just 4 to 5 common questions that you have from your prospects every time. Now, be it around your services, the delivery, the duration, or any kind of elements of the scope of work that you want to include or exclude. So the common things, just list them out and prepare 2 to 3 liners for each of them. So that will be your objection handling list that you will always keep handling, so you will not be taken by surprise for the questions that arise. Secondly, now we come to the part of how you handle it. The best way to handle objection is to use client stories. Now, how to communicate stories, how to tell stories, that we have covered in detail in the previous episode, which you might want to go back and check. But in a nutshell, you share a story of a client who was in a similar situation or who's had the similar concerns as the current prospect or the client is having, and how you worked with them and you enabled them to have a particular solution. And that's the best way to handle objections of your clients. Another brilliant way to handle objection is to firstly acknowledge it and then use it as an opportunity to dig more into the challenges or the real root cause of the reason why the prospect is saying that particular thing. For example, if you get the much anticipated objection of the price is too high or it is beyond my budget. Now, first of all, don't ever get baffled or get taken back by the price is too high objection, because it is very natural for the prospect or the client to object to that, because of course they are getting parted with something which is so dear to them. Money is so dear to everyone, right? So if they are parting with that, then they have to make sure that it is going to the right place. You, on the other hand, as a service provider, do not have to worry about your price ever being high, because you are charging for the value and for the expertise, not for the hours. You are never trading your hours for the money, right? So instead of justifying that, oh, I have been in the business for so long, oh, this is the kind of portfolio I have, you just take that opportunity and use it to dig deeper into the root cause and the psyche of the prospect. So you come back with a response like, hey, I really appreciate your sharing with that honesty, but help me understand, why do you feel the price is so high? Or what part of it doesn't feel like it is justifying its cost? So you essentially get into the process of linking back to the challenges which have probably gone unaddressed. So the point I'm trying to make here is that if the objection is arising, it means that some of their concern has not been addressed as of yet. So it is your responsibility now to dig deeper into their root cause of raising that objection in the first place. So those are the things that you need to do in the process of objection handling. First is be prepared for them. Have a objection handling list for yourself. Second is use a lot of client stories. And lastly, try to use it as an opportunity to dig deeper into the root cause of the objection. I hope this helps, and this sales advice can help you open more client relationships by closing more deals. For more such techniques and tips, do follow Ace the Sales podcast on your favorite podcast listening app, and make sure you leave us a review on Apple iTunes, because it will help us reach more and more number of people and help people in amplifying their business and amplifying their performance in sales. See you next week as I release another podcast episode on Thursday, which is all about how to make the final close. So how to actually ask for the sale. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is myself, Roshni Baronia, signing off.